Imagine this, you finally get your driver's license. That plastic card in your wallet symbolizes freedom, adulthood, the end of being ferried around by parents. You've dreamed about it with someone, the late night talks where you say, "One day, I'll drive over to your house whenever I want." But when that day comes, they're gone. The seat next to you is empty. The streets you cruise feel haunted. That's the raw premise of Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License. Released in January 2021, this debut single didn't just break records, it cracked open a generation's collective chest and exposed the messy, multifaceted ache of teenage heartbreak. Today, I'm taking a deep, self-reflective dive into why this song hits so hard, how it transforms personal pain into universal art, and what it reveals about love, loss, independence, and the stories we tell ourselves to survive. Olivia Rodrigo was 17 when she wrote this. Fresh off High School Musical, the series, she was navigating the blurred lines between Disney polish and real teenage chaos. The song stemmed from an actual drive. She got her license, cruised her suburban neighborhood listening to sad songs, crying in the car, then came home and poured it onto the piano. In her own words, she was literally crying in my living room. The diary entry that inspired it reads like poetry. "I got my driver's license today, a very highly anticipated achievement. But the joy was laced with longing. She'd wanted that freedom partly to close the distance to him, the boy who made her feel too young, too limited." Now, with the license in hand, that bridge was burned. She co-wrote it with Daniel Negro, but the core was hers, raw, diaristic, unfiltered. Rodrigo has said songwriting clarified her confusing, multifaceted heartbreak. It turned chaos into something simpler, sharper. That's the magic and the danger of turning life into art. You gain clarity, but you also immortalize the wound. How many of us have done the same? Grabbed a notebook, voice memo, or piano after a breakup, not to create a hit, but to make sense of the storm inside. Driver's License started as therapy, not strategy. Its authenticity is why it connected. Let's dissect the lyrics like a map of emotional territory. Verse 1, "I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about, 'cause you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house, but today, I drove through the suburbs, crying, 'cause you weren't around." It's devastating in its specificity. The license isn't just a milestone, it's a shared future that evaporated. The suburbs become a character, familiar roads now alien without him. Driving, meant for connection, becomes solitary grief. Verse 2 introduces jealousy and insecurity, "And you're probably with that blonde girl, who always made me doubt. She's so much older than me, she's everything I'm insecure about." This isn't vague pop sadness. It's the brutal internal monologue, comparing yourself to the upgrade, questioning your worth. "Yeah, today I drove through the suburbs, 'cause how could I ever love someone else?" Then the chorus builds, "And I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one, and I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me, 'cause you said forever, now I drive alone past your street." Here, self-reflection turns accusatory and vulnerable. We revisit shared memories, sidewalks crossed, laughter in traffic. She hears his voice everywhere. The forever promise rings hollow. The repetition of driving through the suburbs creates a looping obsession, mirroring rumination after heartbreak. As a listener, it forces you to confront your own ghosts. Have I idealized a past love? Projected my insecurities onto someone new? Wondered if their quick recovery meant our connection was never as deep as I felt? Musically, Driver's License is a masterclass in emotional storytelling beyond lyrics. It opens with real car sounds, the door chime morphing seamlessly into a piano ostinato, like the seatbelt reminder becoming an anxious heartbeat. Tempo sits at a slow 72 BPM, ballad territory, but it evolves. The production builds dynamically. Early verses are intimate, piano-led, whispery vocals channeling Billie Eilish and Lorde influences mixed with Adele's belt. Then it shifts, hand claps, a 4-on-the-floor beat kicks in, turning quiet crying into something more propulsive. The melody uses clever harmonic choices, Legion flavors, unexpected chord changes that mirror emotional whiplash. Fast-changing chords after lines of longing catch you off guard, like the sudden realizations in grief. The bridge is legendary. At around 2:25, it explodes, red lights, stop signs, I still see your face in the white cars, front yards, can't drive past your street without thinking of you. Rodrigo's voice cracks and soars in a cathartic run. It's twice as long as a typical bridge, refusing to resolve neatly. The song doesn't give you clean closure, it leaves you in the tension, much like real healing. It ends unresolved, fading on a lingering chord that feels like driving into the night alone. This structure, verse, chorus build to a massive emotional peak, rewards repeated listens. It's not just a song, it's a journey you take with her, windows down, volume up. Driver's License wasn't just a song, it was a cultural event. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the youngest solo artist to do so. It shattered Spotify streaming records. Taylor Swift praised it. Grown adults confess it reopened old high school wounds. Why? Because it captured the sad girl aesthetic of Gen Z, specific yet relatable, bedroom pop intimacy scaled to stadium emotion. In a pandemic-locked world, it gave voice to isolation and lost futures. The drama around its speculated subjects added fuel, but Rodrigo wisely emphasized, the specifics matter less than the emotion. People connected because it felt true. This song taught me, and millions, that vulnerability is power. In an era of curated perfection, Rodrigo's unfiltered diary entry resonated precisely because it wasn't polished for virality first. It was real. It made driving alone feel cinematic, heartbreak poetic. It normalized that independence, your literal driver's license, can coincide with profound loneliness. It also highlights songwriting as processing, turning betrayal, insecurity, and a forever flies into art that heals both creator and listener. Rodrigo said it brought clarity. For fans, it validated that it's okay to still feel it years later. On a personal level, Driver's License reminds me that milestones are rarely pure. We attach them to people, graduations, first jobs, that damn license, and when the person leaves, the symbol twists. Freedom becomes a reminder of absence. The suburbs you once shared become a loop of memory. Yet, there's quiet empowerment in the act of driving anyway. Singing through tears. Passing his street even when it hurts. The song doesn't resolve with, I'm over it. It ends in motion, still driving, still feeling, but moving forward literally if not emotionally. Olivia Rodrigo turned a specific suburban heartbreak into a global anthem because she refused to generalize the pain. She named the blonde girl, the stop signs, the forever that wasn't. In doing so, she gave us permission to do the same in our own lives. 5 years on, it still sounds fresh because teenage and adult heartbreak is timeless. We all get our metaphorical driver's licenses eventually, moments of independence that arrive tangled with loss. The question is whether we keep driving alone past those streets, or find new roads. If a driver's license taught us anything, it's that the most powerful songs aren't about closure. They're about the drive itself, the tears on the steering wheel, the voice cracking on the high notes, the stubborn hope that someday the passenger seat won't feel so empty. Thanks for riding along with this reflection. What's your driver's license moment? Drop it in the comments. Drive safe.